Hiya! Welcome! Well, a couple of days or so back, I promised you a big old haul of mainly records, but there's one other thing relating to recorded music in this big haul, and it's all to do with Erasure. I'm not going to hint at what it could be because you know what it is anyway because of the thumbnail, the title, etc. I've got 9 items here to show you, so we need to get through these as quick as we can so that I don't bore you too much, but I hope you're going to enjoy looking at some of these pickups with me from 3 different websites. Let's just get going with one that I opened earlier. I'm really happy with this. It was a purchase from Discogs Marketplace, and it's something I've been looking for while ever I've been collecting Erasure, but it seemed to have got a little bit rare, even though I think it's only been out since about 2018. And then all of a sudden a new listing came up on the Marketplace. I'm talking about their live album from a few years ago, World Be Live. This is a 3 LP set. This was from a record shop on Discogs called Vinyl Tab, based in Huddersfield, I think. I'd never heard of them until recently, and they've got their own website, and actually I've managed to find something else that I've wanted for ages on their website at a pretty good price as well. That's nothing to do with Erasure, but I will show that in an upcoming video. But to get World Be Live, and the price of this was pretty reasonable, including about £4 odd in postage. It came out to about £38 something. New and sealed as well. I wasn't expecting it to be brand new and sealed because they'd graded the sleeve at very good plus, which usually means it's a decent enough sleeve, but it's a bit tatty, but I'd say that's mint. It's sealed, there's no bends or anything. Not sure why they downgraded it, really. There was other sellers, but as is often the case with Discogs, they were all pretty much international, so then there's more postage, higher prices generally anyway, and then you've got taxes, no doubt, too. This would have followed on from Erasure's 2018 studio album, World Be Gone, and then they released an orchestral version of that album called World Beyond, so this was like the third part of the trilogy. I do have both those albums already, I have those on cassette. So there we are, Erasure World Be Live from Vinyl Tab's Discogs page. Right then, got a package with 2 items here to open. This came today, and it's from Mutebank. Mute Records, of course, are Erasure's record label. Mutebank is the Mute Records online store. I've talked about it plenty of times. We have an invoice. I'd say one of these is a little bit impulsive purchase-wise. I thought, you know what, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound, so I decided to get both of these, even though neither of them are technically albums, but they are both Erasure releases. So the first one I want to show you, and I think this is the most recent Erasure release in my entire collection. It's this, and I'm never sure whether it's pronounced the NE EP or the NE EP. I'm going to assume it's NE EP. So this came out 2021, I think. You'll have seen release dates on screen for all of the stuff that I'm showing you in this video, so I'll try not to keep banging on about years and stuff in case I get any wrong, because I've looked them all up beforehand anyway. I think it's a purple shelled cassette, this. This also came out on a limited format for Record Store Day, I think. It was the only Erasure on cassette at Mutebank that I hadn't already got on either cassette or some other format, so I thought, you know what, as I bought a load of Erasure on cassette, which you would have seen just a matter of days ago, I might as well get this on cassette. £8 I think that was. NE EP, which I think's got 5 tracks on it. So it's more than a single, but less than an album. Speaking of which, this one is classed as a single. I would class it as an EP, because I think there's 6 tracks on it. And this was, I think, the one physical single, or EP, that came from Erasure's 2020 album, The Neon. This is Fallen Angel. Now, I wasn't going to bother with this initially, but I have got Erasure EPs. I've got Crackers International, I've got Aberesque, which was a couple of years or so later. Now I've got the NE or NE EP, and although this wasn't classed as an EP, it's got 6 tracks on it. It is an EP really. You could even class it as a mini album. I suppose it depends on lengths and time limits and what does and doesn't qualify for the official charts and stuff. I don't really give a shit. I'll get that. Obviously I've heard Fallen Angel because I've got the Neon album. That's something I managed to get on a decent discount from Amazon a while ago. So there's 2 purchases from Mutebank. last but not least is one more mail opening, and this is the big old section of the haul. This is a purchase of 6 LPs from WHSmith. And what I like about buying records on WHSmith, especially when they're in bulk like this, and therefore costing a lot of money, is they've got lay-by, so you can split the cost over 6 instalments. I did that with a load of Enigma albums last year, that would have been, and I've done the same for 6 Erasure albums here. Maybe I should have pre-opened this before I'd started, but oh well. Didn't want to dig too deep into this mailer, as there's a lot in it and therefore not a lot of protection. Right, I'm in. Just fold my knife up because safety first and all that jazz. These won't be in any order of original release, so I'm just going to take them out as they come, really. Right, let's grab this one first. First one to show you is the 30th anniversary edition of Erasure's album Other People's Songs. It's got this, I think it's a hype sticker, that, rather than something that's printed on the sleeve itself. This was the Erasure 30, I think it was called, or 30th anniversary re-release campaign from 2016, where all the studio albums that had come out from the duo up until that point were reissued on 180 gram vinyl. I think the majority of these are on one disc, as far as I know. Never heard this album before, but I've heard a few tracks on it. It's a covers album, so I think the lead single off this was Salisbury Hill, originally by Peter Gabriel. I think this is also the album that features their cover of Can't Help Falling in Love as well. Very happy with that. Other People's Songs by Erasure. Unsurprisingly by Erasure. Everything is by Erasure in this video. Right, let's grab another. This one is Light at the End of the World. So there again, same sort of motif there. We've got this anniversary reissue campaign hype sticker on. I don't think they differ between the albums. I think they all look like that. They're all out in 2016, these. So anything from after that period that Erasure have released, studio album wise, hasn't been reissued in this anniversary format for obvious reasons. There we are. Can probably get through these fairly quickly, as I'm not opening any of them. There will be some coloured vinyl in here, but maybe I'll have to show you that at a later date. This will be the oldest album, not in relation to when this actual edition came out, but when it was originally released. But this is the oldest album of all of these here in this 9-item haul. This is Love Boat from 2000, I'm pretty certain. I did look for this one on cassette, but it was pretty much impossible to find on cassette. I think certainly Erasure, if not Mute Records as a whole, was really phasing out cassettes by the early 2000s. Hence why I managed to get all those cassettes of Erasure albums from the 90s recently. And then once the 90s were over, that was pretty much it for tape. But there we are. That's Love Boat. So there should be 3 more to go. Also got a sticky invoice. Here is Nightbird, again with a hype sticker. Fairly large text on the back, so I shouldn't have too much trouble reading that, theoretically. I like the sort of handwritten typeface here. Quite nice. Nightbird. Right. Ah, yes. Now then, this is the coloured disc. I can't remember if this is 1 or 2 discs. This might be a 2-disc set, actually. Oh, it's very reflective as well. I'm looking at myself. It's almost like a proper, albeit yellow and greeny tinted mirror, this sleeve. The back of it, certainly. You can probably see the reflection of my lights and stuff in it very well, so I do apologise for that. But this is the Neon Remix. So this was basically the remix album of their 2020 album, The Neon. This would have come out, I think, the following year. I think this was 2021, similar to the Knee EP. Hype sticker on there that I can't read. Like, even if there wasn't a ring light dazzling my eyes, I don't think I could read that. Yeah, I really like that. And the Neon was a great album, by the way, so I'm really excited to hear remixes of all, I think all. There might be some slightly different tracks on, or maybe even like 1 or 2 tracks repeated by different remixes, I don't know. I just wanted to get a load of Erasure in the collection, so I didn't really go into fine details. I was just checking off what's still needed. And the last one is Union Street. I believe this one, I could be mistaken here, so don't quote me or anything, but I believe this one might have a little bit of a country influence to it, which sounds intriguing and a little bit odd. The fact that it's got a drawing of Vince Clarke with an acoustic guitar, which isn't that unusual, because I remember on old performances on Top of the Pops and stuff, some of their early stuff, like the single Sometimes, Vince Clarke, even though it was a synth-heavy tune, he'd appear on stage with an acoustic guitar. But that suggests to me that there is more acoustic and possibly countrified stuff on this album. So that's it. So that's 9 Erasure, I nearly said records then, but it's 8 records, 1 cassette, lots of Erasure to get through. Obviously, I've really filled many holes in that particular part of my record and music collection today. Now then, what do I need Erasure-wise now? There's 2 more albums that came out after 2016 that you haven't got yet. No, 3, sorry, because I'm forgetting their Christmas album, Snow Globe. And there's 2 other albums besides Snow Globe, Tomorrow's World and Violet Flame. Everything that's come after those I've got either on tape or vinyl now. Those 3, I've got a feeling they will be reissued eventually. It's just a case of waiting really. But the price for the actual records, the vinyl, on the aftermarket for those 3 at the moment is pretty steep. I will keep checking because, like with World Be Live, that was pretty steep for a long time. And then suddenly Vinyl Tap on Discogs had a copy for under £40, including postage, which I was very happy to pay, especially as it was a 3-disc set. But there we are, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at me adding loads and loads of Erasure into the collection today. I'm really excited to get into all this. Special thanks go, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and generous, amazing patrons. Please see my Patreon link, Facebook group link, and a link for Urban Jungle Contents Insurance. That's all down in the description text box. It may be below, it may be elsewhere on your device, it may not even be on your device if you're like me and you like to watch YouTube on your big old telly. I'm going to go now, and I think I'm going to listen to these in chronological order. So start with Love Boat first, and then work all the way up to the more recent work, i.e. the Neon Remixed and the Knee or NEEP on cassette. Those Erasure cassettes, by the way, that I showed you a couple of days ago, on my system they all sound brilliant, really good quality. Even the one that I was a bit suspicious of whether that would sound good or not because it was on chrome tape, that sounded fantastic. But anyway, I'm going to go now and listen to some of these, and I do hope that you will all join me again next time for my next epic mega haul record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!